Hello, future CAs. Today I'm going to review our CA Inter Law paper. Yes, you heard that right. For the first time, I am actually going to review our law paper. I'm not going to give out all the answers, but I will give a few answers. Sir, why? There is a reason. Let me come to that. And also, towards the end of this video, I will also be discussing the 1.5 days tax strategy that we guys have. And why am I doing this is because I am getting a lot of messages from students saying, sir, the paper is very difficult. It is very lengthy. I feel like giving up today. Should I even write the tax paper, sir? One more student is messaging me saying, sir, with today's paper, my day is done, sir. That's it. I will simply write tax for formality. Please share your class details for January. Looking at all these messages, I myself collected the paper from a student whom I don't message. I asked her, please send me the photos. She sent for a few questions. And then I realized, yes, this is not an ordinary law paper. It is a challenging and difficult paper. So I thought, okay, I need to talk to our students because most of them would be feeling very low after today's paper and they will need some support to bounce back. So in this video, I'm only going to collate everyone's emotions. You can let me know in the comments how you felt about it, and also we're going to plan for tax in the same video. That means by the time this video gets over, you have to move on from law with me and get into tax, and that's why I'm doing this, guys. But first thing, me and Kaushik Mukesh sir were actually discussing this sometime back on call. We got 2.5 days for law. Everybody told in the 2.5 days, that half day after accounts exam, please study tax. But if you look at the entire YouTube, every faculty in the whole country, only two faculties, myself and Kaushik Mukesh sir, we told, no, study only law on that day, don't study tax, because out of experience we can tell you, every time a subject has 2.5 days, I say we'll put one rod on your head. If you remember Jan 25 exams, audit paper had 2.5 days. It was a very difficult paper. Niveda ma'am was telling me this time law 2.5 days will it be hard. I told Ayo, let's pray it's not going to repeat like that. And that's why in my strategy I told please spend full time for law. But past is past, let's come back to this paper quickly and I'm going to really help you. How to move on? I'm going to share something from my personal life. But before that, I want to review few questions in this. My initial thoughts, is it a challenging paper, sir? Yes. Is it a lengthy paper? Extremely lengthy. 30 plus pages. It is more lengthier than accounts paper. MCQ went for 18 pages and descriptive went for 16 pages. The examiner clearly had fun using AI, created questions, and he used his human element and changed it everything. Again, gave it back to AI, got it back. Gave it to AI, got it back. Is it going to be like this in the future? You can expect this to be the standard, not for every attempt, but ICA is moving towards that. Is it tricky? Very much tricky. Let me explain. Sir, you are saying expected question. No, sir. Since you are doing paper review, from that it came up. Everybody who studied expected questions would have seen a lot of questions in the exam from that. Let me explain. But still, it is going to be tricky. I'm not going to be like other people saying, hey, you followed my strategy. Full 90 marks came from that. Paper is difficult for others. But if you followed us, means paper is very easy because we teach you conceptually. We follow a scientific strategy. No, guys. I will give an example. I told CSR, SPO, significant beneficial owner, in the 5 marks in 5 minutes. In iOS and the expected question list, if you look at the first question, contemporary exposito, 2 acts, LLP, everything that we told is that. I'm just listing down a few, but I told you this time, share capital and meetings, a lot of questions will come. I told you guys from share capital, meetings, auditors and books of accounts, 60 plus, close to 60% of the paper was from that only. Okay, but even though it came from expected question, it is still tricky. Let me prove it to you. The first question, CSR, everyone told it will come. Yes, but they never gave a direct question. They are giving you profit of last 3 years and asking you, they're giving you turnover. Sorry, they're giving you turnover of last 3 years, turnover since commencement, and that too it's a branch. That too the branch, company is incorporated in USA. So it's a foreign company having a branch. That itself is a question. First of all, is yes, applicable for foreign company? Answer is yes, sir. You have to go to foreign company chapter. Then there you have to write that point. Then turnover of 3 years, and they're asking if audit committee, CSR committee is needed. For this, what you should do, first you should apply this 20% net profit on these 3 years turnover. Find net profit for each year and then next you have to find divide by 3 of the find the average and then divide by 3 and then apply 2% and then find whether it is exceeding 50 lakhs for CSR committee. When I did the computation for this, average came for 15. The total of 3 years average came for 15. On that, if I apply 2%, it came to somewhat around some 30 lakhs or something. It came less than the limit. So for this, CSR committee is not needed. But it's not a direct question. It starts from foreign company. I'll show you one last question, guys. Even though it's there an expected question. No, this is there. This FEMA question is there in our expected question. But just because it's there, it's not easy. This is the question where an Indian entity, heavy loaders, is exporting this to US and in return they are not getting cash. They are getting, look at this, shares in the other company. For this, the agent is asking, I want 15% commission, and the invoice says they are refusing because maximum can be 10% of invoiced value. So what many students will write here, hey, limit is 10%, I will not allow, or some of you have got it correct. If I actually look at the answer for this case, if you actually look at the answer for this from FEMA, I have marked and kept, this relates to Schedule 1, prohibited transactions. Okay. Here if you see, everybody will think, hey, commission is only 10% is allowed. No, no. That 10% is for tea and tobacco, not for others. And the list is very clearly saying, payment for commission on exports towards equity investment in joint venture or wholly owned subsidiary abroad of Indian companies is fully prohibited. Are you following? That is what exactly happened in this question. Correct? That is what they're testing in this FEMA question. I don't know how many of you have gotten this, because here everybody will study this point. Everybody will study this point, whether you learn conceptually or whatever. But in exam, you should have the mindset to link these 2 points and write both these points and tell it is prohibited. Are you getting it, guys? What I'm trying to say. So yes, it's a lengthy paper. It's definitely a very lengthy paper. Challenging. We won't have time to read the whole paper in 15 minutes. And it's a very tricky paper. So in this scenario, what to do? First, I want students to acknowledge that every attempt, ICAI will keep one paper as a difficult and tricky paper per group. All the papers can't be easy. If you take the previous 3 attempts, September 24, Jan 25 and May 25, in all those 3 attempts, tax was difficult. Yes, sir. Tax was very difficult, either DT or IDT. So this time, we kept expecting either accounts or law will be challenging. I didn't want to put too much emphasis on that. Law is challenging. That means I can tell you tax will be to an extent easier than law or easier than previous attempts. Okay. Now I will tell you 2 stories from my life where how I moved on in the similar scenario, and straight away I have an amazing tax resources and amazing tax strategy from our team. How to move on? I will tell you 2 stories from November 2016 and November 2017. Okay. So November 16 was when I wrote my CA final. I was so confident I will get a rank before preparation. The first paper was FR. That FR paper also was a rod on me. Meaning it was a very, very challenging paper. After the exam, I came out and I started crying. I understand how that feeling of crying after exam is. I studied for 2 years for this paper, guys. I badly wanted to pass this course. And after the first paper, I broke down in my house. I came home. Okay, Niveda ma'am was in the same center. After the exam, she came and told me, hey, paper is so good, I wrote well. I told, get out. I scolded her and I came home, which wasn't right. I came home and I started crying in my house. I cried for 2 to 3 hours. Then my mom came, she told, it's okay, it happens, it's part of life. Then what I decided, anyway, I did my computation. I decided I'm not going to pass this paper. So I skipped that particular attempt. I promise that's my first attempt of CA final where I wrote. I skipped it after preparing for 2 years and when I was fully ready. Results came and you won't believe it, guys. They gave me in FR 42 marks. I skipped the attempt. 42. What if I wrote the other papers? I thought I will not even get 30 marks. I got 42. Second story, November 17, fast forward to November 17, I decided this time I will not skip at all. I have to write however it goes. The exams went reasonable, but in group 2 we had a paper called ISCA. ISCA paper was there, and in that paper I got fever the previous day and wrote very bad. And there, after that, I had two more papers in CA final. DT 100 marks, IDT 100 marks. Both are 100 marks paper. Now the ISCA is not there. I knew for a fact I will not even cross. 30 also is impossible if I corrected my paper honestly. But I studied seriously DT, studied seriously IDT, and I went and wrote the exam. DT was 60 plus, IDT was 60 plus because I did well. But I thought I will anyway fail this I should write again. They gave me a 40, just past 40. I am damn sure I can write and tell you with all, I can show you the mark sheet also, that I did not deserve 40 in that attempt. But because I got 60 plus in the remaining papers and in group 1 I did well, ICA just gave that 40 marks for whatever reason. So one thing I know from experience, when I tell you from experience, it's true. Two things ICA will always do. If the paper is lengthy, difficult, challenging for everybody, first correction will become easier. Correction will become easier. Plus, students will end up getting grace marks. You can always see the history. Whenever a paper is hard, they will get grace marks. But who will get this easy correction and who will get this grace marks and maybe get that 40-50 is the ones who did the other papers well. Accounts, reasonably okay. Law depends. If you've done well, great. But you still have time after all your preparation to get into tax and make an impact, guys. I know it's very difficult at this point to go there, guys. But we don't have an option. But put all that aside. Try to take law out of your head. It's not easy, guys. I have been there. I can empathize with you as to how you may be feeling, and that's why this video. Okay. But one attempt, I lost it because of a mistake I made like this. And in another attempt, I became a chartered accountant because I learned from my mistake. And I don't want you to only make the mistake of missing out on tax, guys. What I will tell you is now, tax has only 1.5 days, and usually for tax 1.5 days, very difficult, not enough. So in the maximum time available, forget this, revise after tax exam. Come together, we will all book one hall. Over there we'll come and rant and we'll crib about past exams. We will have whatever possible after exams. But this 1.5 day, it is only those students who have that bloody mental strength to put away all the MCQ discussions, everything regarding law, throw all that away and focus on tax. It is those students who deserve to pass the exam, and that is an amazing psychological test given by ICAI, guys. Let me quickly get into the strategy, even though I'm not a tax faculty. For DT, we have Rahul sir, who has already given 3 amazing resources. Concept marathon for 7 hours, workout marathon solving difficult questions for 12 hours, and MCQ marathon for 6 hours. Everything is there in the description of this video. You know A&M sir. A&M sir, marathon is there. Concept marathon for 8 hours, part 1 and part 2. That is also there in the description of this video, guys. You may have your faculty preference. Go with A&M sir or Rahul sir. That's your choice. But everybody are part of CA Classroom team, guys. So you also know Amit Mahajan sir. We have Amit Mahajan sir also, who is giving us a tax strategy for 1.5 days. This is his planner, guys. This is his planner. Okay. Look at this. He has given a planner for both DT and IDT, giving duration of the time that has to be spent. And for direct tax, he has given link where you can get all the resources. IDT, supervision, all the link is given over here. Same way, he has given all the links, whatever you need. Amendments for DT, IDT, everything is there. Some of this will be in English, but majority will be in Hindi. Amit sir, Khasa Ke means, just now I used Google and found out. It means, how are you doing, guys? So all the faculties wants to know how are you doing. From our side, we will continue to give only tax resources now and group 2 resources after group 1 gets over. I will keep sharing all the resources possible, guys. If you really feel you are still not able to get through, if you want to talk to me, just call me and talk to me, guys. You have my number. Okay, you can call me and talk to me, or call Niveda ma'am also and talk to her. Both of us will ensure we are available until today, until the day is over. Worst case, if you're not able to study today, watch some marathon on YouTube. Just to get your mind back to the subject, Rahul sir, I've given you all, Anish sirs, or Amit sir also will be going live. You can watch any of these marathons. Try to sleep off today and start fresh. But again, I will tell you, I will end with this quote. It is the ability of those students who can deal with rough and difficult days mentally are the ones who will easily make it in this course. I will always keep saying CA is an easy course in subject, but it's a difficult course when it comes to dealing with that exam week. And thus this exam week, it's only those students will get through, guys. I'm again telling you, it's not easy. I understand. If you're crying now, it's okay. It's okay to cry. Put it in the comments, guys, how you're feeling. It's okay to be a human today, but immediately bounce back from it within half an hour, 1 hour. Get back on track. See the comments. Everybody are feeling this way only. And once you know that everybody are feeling this way, throw that law paper, tear it or just keep it wherever and get back to tax, guys. Because like I said, you can either choose to make your attempt like how I did it the first time, where I messed up by skipping, or like the second time, make a bounce back and use the time that you have best to get an exemption, guys. That's it. Take care, guys. Yeah.